So, one of the questions that I also have is when you win your Oscar, how does that impact your career? And how that also opened doors for you to do many things that you're doing today?
Well, my winning an Academy Award came at the very start of my career. It was for the very first film that I had done. So it really did set the paces for everything I've done since. But you know what's interesting is that after I won that Academy Award, you think, oh, I'm gonna get lead roles here and there. Oh, Lupita, we'd like to play another movie where you're a slave, but this time you're on a slave ship. Those are the kinds.
Hey, tea sippers. So, to give context, Lupita did an interview with CNN where she spoke about the movie role, 12 Years a Slave, or something like that. So, Lupita was talking about, obviously, how she won a Grammy for that movie, and that was the actual start of her career. So, she actually became a celebrity overnight, as the internet would like to say it. So, she was mainly talking about the fact that after that movie became a success, she thought that now that was gonna lead her into the movie industry. She was gonna get like different roles, roles that maybe are even out of like what she has imagined, just for her to expand her talents and experiment with her talents. But then she ended up only being offered slave roles, right? And she was like, I want to change the perception about Africans and black people in general. So for her, it was very disappointing that why am I only getting these slave roles? Am I only good enough to portray a slave? Because a slave is because black people were forced to be slaves. Black people were not born slaves, and Africans, the African identity was never a slave. Africans had identities. Africans were kings and queens and had professions and had land and had resources before the white Europeans came to colonize Africa. So it was such an insult to her, like, what? So I'm only good enough to portray myself as something less than white, as something that is just less and unworthy of. And you know what? I totally agree. Why is it that she was only being offered slave roles? Like, okay, I get a slave movie once in a long while, but it can't be as frequent as those are the only roles that I'm being offered as a black African person, especially in America, especially in a country as racist as America, right? So let's get right into it. So we all know, I'm not even American, but we all know that media has always been controlled by white people. And they've always pushed their racist agendas, their racist stereotypes, So with Lupita, they're trying to push their racist stereotypes, or how they feel about black people in general, that black people should be portrayed negatively, they should be portrayed less than. So this is an ego boost to the white Hollywood producers. This is an ego boost to the racist white Americans, right? So they want black people in general, and with black women, they want to portray black women in a negative light, right? Because white men don't want black women to be redeemed as more attractive than white women. They don't want black women to be redeemed as more talented. Just they don't want black women to be admired more than white women. Not because they can't see that black women are beautiful, not because they don't desire black women, but they have to make their white women feel better, which is why they wanted this beautiful African woman to just constantly be in ghetto roles, because when you're a slave, guys, your hair is not going to be styled in a way that looks beautiful. You're not going to have, moisturized skin. You know how we Black Africans are known for just moisturizing our skin, smelling nice, wearing our beautiful African attires. When you're a slave, you don't get to show off your natural Black beauty, styling your natural hair, moisturizing your skin with shea butter, wearing your beautiful African attires. Yeah. When you are a slave, you don't get to, because slaves, remember, were also stripped of their identity. Hair in Africa has always been like a cultural thing and a beauty statement. When you're a slave, you don't get to moisturize your skin with shea butter. You don't get to style your hair. You don't even get to wear your traditional attire. So that slave role is extremely unflattering. It's extremely unflattering. Even if you're beautiful, your beauty, we can't even see your beauty. So that's what they wanted. They wanted Lupita to push negative stereotypes about Black people and Black women, and also those Black men that were in the slave movie. It was also about them it was also about them showing Black men in a negative light, that Black men are powerful. Black men, it was also about that. So it's about the whole race. So I initially came across this interview on Twitter, and it was being reported like that Lupita mainly was talking about her being offered slave role. And when I went in the comment section, I saw a lot of racist white people saying stuff like, "Oh, Black women are always complaining. She must just be happy that she got rolled to play. She should have just taken the money." And that, my darlings, should tell you everything that you need to know about white supremacy and the media and everything. They want to portray Black people, and especially Black women, in a negative light. Because for white men, it's not that they don't see the beauty of Black women. It's not that they don't even desire to be with us, because during colonization, they assaulted us, So white men do not want Black women to be perceived as beautiful and more talented than their white women. So white men also have to protect the egos of their white wives and white girlfriends, and even little white girls, of which is sad, because a white woman's beauty is a white woman's beauty, and a Black woman's beauty, on the other hand, is very unique. Our skin colors, our hair, just very unique. Our body shape, just very unique, But hey, so and also Black men as well. They don't want Black men they want Black men to be portrayed as less than white men, less talented than white men, because white men themselves don't want Black men to be seen as more attractive, as smarter than them, right? And it's funny because during colonization and slavery and all these things, white women used to find Black men attractive, and that actually pissed white men off. Like, what? So, but it's just that a lot of them had to do it like in secret, So the Black male beauty also has always been very unique, and so white people know that when you have Black people in public spaces on social media doing great things, that will inspire other Black kids to do better. And they don't want that. They want to be the ones that are perceived as moral. They want to be the only ones that are perceived as proper, as civilized, as smart. So this hurts their ego. And kudos to Lupita. Black people were not born slaves. We had identities before that. And fuck the media for wanting Black people to be portrayed in a negative light. Black representation matters.